Everybody wants to always think about quarterbacks as what can they do physically? So much of the game to me is played from the shoulder pads up, what's in your head. It's a very mental game for the quarterback in terms of identifying coverages and figuring out the right places to throw.
Hey, Leonard, Geddes here, founder of the LearnWell project, where my mission as usual is to make learning more visible, more manageable, and more effective. So today I'm going to show you a different angle of my work. So I've worked with a number of student athletes over the years at a variety of schools. And one of the questions I love asking first-year student athletes, after they participated in a fall camp, let's say it starts before the school year begins, like soccer or football certainly, and if you can go back to your high school and play one more game, how much better would you be? And I watch their eyes light up and they go, oh man, I would be so great. And then I press them further and I say, well, what's different? You're not necessarily bigger, stronger, or faster than you were in high school. And then I watch them try to articulate the difference. And really what they're trying to talk about is the level of conceptual knowledge they've gained in that short span of time and the level of cognitive skills that they're investing in their work. In high school, they were able to probably just beat people because they were more talented. But in college, where the talent evens out, it requires a different level of mental skills in order to become the cream of the crop. So I'm going to show you a clip of some former NFL superstars. Tom Brady, who definitely is the most accomplished quarterback in NFL history, the most accomplished winner in NFL history. And I'm also going to show you some clips from Tyreek Hill, a talented NFL receiver, expressing his changes in his thinking and how that's going to impact his game. And then I'm going to share with you a little clip from one of my favorite shows, First Things First, that will help us illuminate what's really going on with Tyreek Hill.
I'm taking notes in meeting rooms, even if I know it, I'm taking notes. So he's definitely helped us all, man. He's been great.
Greg, is that?
I'm sorry. He's being a little too transparent right now.
Look, when you listen to that, like, it just sounds bad. And I'm going to try to help Tyreek out. Okay. I really am going to try to help Tyreek out because whether you're a rookie or a player that's coming into a new system or just coming in after the offseason, you refresh yourself and you are taught to learn your position. So if we all go on the same team, we're all in the same unit room, we're all playing receiver, you're X, you're slot, you're Z, you're taught to learn your position. So the idea of learning the playbook is really minimized to, I'm just going to look at my routes. I'm just going to look at what I need to get done on those specific routes or those specific plays.
Academics, does this narrow frame of thinking sound familiar to you? Well, it should, because it's the athletic version of the same type of shallow, superficial thinking that we see in our classrooms and in our learning centers. Yep, they're discussing how this common way of thinking limits professional athletes' performance, and I'm going to show you later how it also limits our students' performance and how we can reverse that performance ceiling. So let's continue listening as the host contrasts this way of thinking to another way of thinking.
The way that I did it, and again, this is not everyone, I learned the concept. So I understood the offense in its totality.
I just want to translate for the audience, maybe for myself as well. You were learning why the offense worked.
Correct.
This is to set up this, to set up this, which
your
is what
route,
it's building.
why I need to run my route because of how it impacts your route, why you need to run your route, how it impacts mine, even the offensive line, the protection. I got to the nuances of all of that.
Now do you see why this gets me so excited? What kind of thinking is the host referring to? He's referring to deep thinking and learning. He's contrasting Tyreek's narrow and shallow way of thinking to a deeper, more conceptual way of thinking.
He's definitely helped us all, man. He's been great.
So first, let me say that I believe and have seen that student athletes should have the highest GPAs on campus. Now, a little bit of evidence about why I say that. In 2011, I had a chance to work with the Lenore student athlete population as a whole. At that time, the student athlete population GPA was lower than the overall student GPA, which is pretty typical. And the provost wanted me to step in and work with them because there had been some animosity expressed between coaches and the faculty. Ha ha ha, I'm sure you all are familiar with that. Pretty common in higher education. However, it got to a point to where it got really heated. And so in 2011, I had worked with a number of schools already, and I knew that most study hall programs that colleges were using were not effective. They were more like jails where they make sure students did certain things for a certain amount of time, but they really weren't enhancing students' ability to do academic work. And so I did not want to follow the standard model, and so I developed a metacognitive based program. My program had this one particular focus. How do we help student athletes recognize the literacy skills that they are routinely using in their sport? And how do we help them translate those skills to their academics? So I realized that if we can help them recognize that beyond your physical talent, what you're really tapping into is this mental skill, this literacy, the ability to understand what's going on in your sport. And that's playing a key role in the way you play your game, in your development, in your progression. And if we help them understand that and begin to value that, then it will translate to their academics lives as well. And we saw that happen.